Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by the returning Rebekah Kennedy.
Hello,
Traumatica. Hello, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just, busy.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Traumatica is out in theaters right now. And
Yes.
not just because you're back, but I thought this movie is awesome. It's on my list of top movies this year.
Oh, wow. That's very kind. Thank you so much. That's very sweet.
You're welcome. And for people not aware, could you give them an idea of what it's about?
Yeah. So without giving too much away, it's about a little boy named Mikey who starts to feel like his mother may be possessed. And I am the mother. So that gives a little rundown of what it's about. I think without giving too much away.
Yeah. And so the director and co-writer, Pierre, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry.
Segredes.
Segredes. All right. So you guys, did Two Witches together. Was that the first time you had met and worked together? Was on Two Witches?
Yeah, it was Two Witches. And I originally wasn't even supposed to be in Two Witches. There was another actress, and Christina Klebe, who plays my roommate, in Two Witches. The actress that was supposed to do it dropped out and or couldn't do it. And so she recommended me. And so that's how I teamed up with them then. And then for this one, kind of the same thing. I wasn't the original thought because originally it was based kind of on a video game that Pierre had played. And it's like a grandmother that's like chasing a child around was kind of the initial idea. And so initially they had thought about an older actress. And I guess whoever they had thought about couldn't do it. And so they came to me and were like, do you know anyone that might be interested? We're looking for someone older. And I was like, oh, let me think about it. And then the next day they came back and they were like, actually, do you want to do it? And so then I was like, yeah, let's, so it was an easy yes working with them again from the last time.
So did you read the script before you actually get they offer you the part? Did you read the script when you were like, I'll think of, who would be good for the role?
I mean, they had sent me like kind of a description and kind of what they were looking for. So I hadn't really read the script until they were like, hey, do you want to do it? So I kind of knew a little bit that I knew it was going to be intense. I knew that, that it was going to require a lot of physicality. And of course, once I signed on, then they adjusted the script to match, fit me, because then I was, so they rewrote the part to fit more of what I could do and play age wise. And so it kind of, evolved from there.
Yeah. So you had plenty of time. It wasn't like the night before, like, oh, this person dropped out and we need
I had a little bit. I didn't have a ton of time, but I had a little bit, a little more than a night. Yeah. Yeah.
Has that happened a lot? Where it would happen in these two movies. So has that happened like other times?
I'm trying to think. The only other time I'm aware of was Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage. That was one of the first. It was like my first big movie. They had actually I was cast in reshoots. They had another actress had done the part, and I don't know, the studio wasn't feeling it, so so I was part of the reshoots on that. That's the only other time that I know about. That it's like you could be the second, third, fourth choice. You never know. I always feel like things kind of work out the way they're supposed to. People can't do it. Or it just doesn't work for the movie, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I have one role where it was literally the night before. The other person dropped out, and they asked me if I could do it the next day, and so I stayed up all night reading the script.
Yeah,
and did the role. So
that's intense. Yeah, Two Witches was very quick. It wasn't the night before, but they were they were starting to shoot, very quickly, and so I didn't have a ton of time. But wow, that's I've never come in the day before as far as like Station 19 was fast because somebody dropped out or anything. They had released the breakdown as a guy, and then after the director came on, she was like, is there a reason that this couldn't be a woman? And they were like, yeah. So they had auditions, and then I auditioned and I booked it the next day, and then we were filming the next day. So that was very quick. And that was mostly because they, changed the gender of the role. yeah, that's a lot. That's intense. Good for you, because that's nerve wracking. Although also you don't have a lot of time to like second guess yourself because you don't have time.
That's actually it was a real life serial killer, rapist, whatever. And then but afterwards, I found actual audio of him, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't listen to this before because he didn't sound anything like I portrayed.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting. Like I said, I feel like things kind of work out the way they're meant to, even if it's stressful in the moment. Because obviously for the production, I'm sure losing the person the night before is so incredibly stressful.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so having someone step in, but it works out. So
What like when you're reading the character for Abigail, what are like some of the things that like you connect with? Because it's in really for people who don't know, and I don't want to spoil the movie, but like you have a really wide range of you have to be sympathetic and
yeah.
sort of victim, then you're also monstrous and stuff. So it's a wide range of things going on there.
Right. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of drew me to playing her was the fact that she's not all one thing. When you first read the script, as I was reading, I was like, okay, she's the villain. All right, like this is, this will be fun. And then as I'm reading, I'm finding out why she is the way she is and what happened to her. And then like you said, you have sympathy for her, and then hopefully by the end, you're not sure how you feel about her in terms of like, is she bad? Is she not bad? Like, do we, love her, hate her, whatever, however we feel. And so I thought that would be really interesting to play the juxtaposition of both the villain and how you got there. And it's not to say like an origin story, but it is a look at why someone is the way they are,
Yeah.
and we're not just one thing. And I thought that would be really challenging to play and explore, and that was one reason I wanted to do the movie. Yeah.
It's one of the things I really like about the movie because it's a debate people would have, with real things like if you have sympathy for somebody who's done something terrible, like to understand, or have no sympathy at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it raises a human question, several human questions, because that more often than not, people that do bad things have had bad things happen to them, right? And so, of course, it doesn't excuse the behavior. You still have to suffer the consequences, whatever they are. But maybe you understand a little bit why somebody did something. And for me, I ask myself, okay, if it was my family member in jeopardy, would I be willing to do the same thing? That's what's kind of brought up that question in me, which is interesting to explore. And like why I'm an actor and why we want to do this is explore these things and these questions, and hopefully leave the audience with the same kind of thoughts as well.
Even the name itself, Traumatica. I mean, it's kind of like the movie is about the cycle of trauma. Like it ruins,
Right.
like everyone's lives over time.
Right. And especially if you don't break the cycle, then it generationally goes down, to your next, your son or daughter, and then they have kids and they continue on the cycle if it's not broken. And even sometimes when you think, oh, I'm never going to be like my parents, I'm never going to do that, then you find yourself doing the thing that you said you weren't going to do, because that's what until somebody gets help, goes to therapy, gets it's hard to break that, because that's kind of what you maybe grew up doing or knowing, and that's like what it's normal for you, even if it's not normal, if that makes sense.
It also really works as a horror movie, so which sometimes I think is hard to do, to blend like like if you have like important themes in it or messages or whatever in a story, and still have it, you could just watch it as like a crazy horror movie.
Right. That's, I've said that, like, there's two ways you can watch it. Like you said, you can watch it as just a crazy fun ride. Or you can watch it with kind of the underbelly of what's going on as well. And both are equally valid depending on the audience member and what they want out of it. I think nowadays a lot of horror films have an underlying message or theme or something they're saying, and in the horror genre is maybe the only genre you could really explore it in, because nobody really wants to watch a drama about these things. Mm-hmm. It's a tougher pill to swallow if it's presented that way. So when you're presented in this horror space, then it feels like more people are willing to give it a chance, you know.
And so when I saw it at the theater, which I was really happy about, and the woman a couple seats next to me, she was shrieking throughout the movie, which again, I think horror movies are the only movies where that actually adds to the movie. I don't know if I was at a drama and someone shrieking through the movie, if that would add to the film.
Right.
But
No, that's great. I love that. It's I've seen it like I saw it 3 times with a big audience, and then I went back to Texas to see it in the theater this last weekend as well with my family. And they were a much quieter crowd because, you know, when you're at like a premiere, people are definitely more like vocal. But I remember the first time I saw it with an audience, like this guy yelled really loud, "Oh Jesus!" after one of the scenes. And like you said, you're probably not going to find that in many other any other spaces. So it's you know, that's what you want, right? You want people to jump, you want people to cover their eyes, you want people to feel something, whether it be good or bad afterwards.
Yeah, actually, I said that on the show lots of times because sometimes people ask like, why do you like a horror movie or why do you like a disturbing movie? And I do think like if art evokes emotion of any kind, that's doing something, even if it's a negative emotion.
Right, exactly. I feel like the worst is like walking out of a movie and going, "Well, it was good. Anyway, what should we get for lunch?" You know,
Right, right.
whether you passionately hate something or passionately love something, you're talking about it after. And I feel like if it invokes something in somebody where they have to go online to rant about it, whether it be good or bad, then you've done your job, whether people like the movie or not. You know.
Yeah, for years of having screeners for the show, the most boring thing is to sit through something that's like it might technically be well made or whatever, but if it's just some, you know, just a run of a mill movie that everyone's done a million times, and no one really seems like they're really having a great time. They're just making a movie to make a movie for some reason. That's like the word. And I can overlook a movie that's technically not well made in some way if it's fun or there's something interesting going on.
Right. Yeah. And I think Pierre and the director, like you mentioned, and Max, the producer, they, I apologize for my cat. You know, they take risks and they push the envelope, and whether it works for people or not, they're making a statement and they're saying something about the genre, and I commend them for that because it's not easy. Like you said, it's easier to kind of make a safe run of the mill movie
Yeah.
than it is to like kind of be more polarizing and divisive in what you're making. So, you know, and, you know, I feel like they're really also very creative with what they have. I mean, we don't have a big budget. We don't have a big crew. We're a small little movie with a couple of us, and it's me and Pierre and the camera running around the house, you know, when the kid's not there. And so there's something to be said about, you know, because it's kind of the purest form of filmmaking as far as indie films.
Yeah, and it looks like a high production value. Like it looks really
Thank
good.
you.
It's never I'm watching like, oh, this is a really, you know, cheap movie or something.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't take credit for that. That's all Pierre, but you know, I will take the compliment.
Yeah. And it was really fun to watch it in a theater with like I guess a normal crowd, I want to say, because I know you played festivals and I like to go to festivals, but there is a difference between a festival audience and like a wider, you know, more mainstream audience.
Yes, there very much is. Yeah, my mom had to like look away a few times for sure. I won't, you know, spoil anything, but the
Yeah.
knives made her pretty squeamish. Um, yeah, it's an interesting because I really feel like horror. I mean, most movies, I mean, yes, some movies you can watch at home and have a fine experience, but I feel like most movies are really meant to be seen in a shared
I
space,
agree. Yeah.
and especially horror. Horror is really meant to be seen together because there's something about an audience's buzz, the energy, the people jumping, people shrieking, people laughing, people covering their eyes. That is a shared experience that you don't get the same thing at home. Plus, there's so many distractions at home, you know. And of course, nowadays you can't put everything in the theater. It's impossible. It's hard to get people to go to the theater. So I understand why movies go straight to streaming because it makes sense financially. It makes sense, but it's really cool. It's been a really cool experience to have this movie in the theater where people could actually, go and see it with a collective group.
Yeah. Yeah, I was excited when I was seeing the trailers for it. I was like, "Oh, I know Rebekah. Uh so it's cool to see your, just even the trailer at the theater at the AMC. I was like, "Oh wow, they're playing the movie here." And so
Yeah,
I was happy for you. So,
thank you. Yeah, this is the biggest release I've had for an indie, and as far as indies go, and where I'm actually like I'm in the trailer and you could see it at the theater. And Sean Whan and I went and went and saw it at the movies. Because I was like, I got to see it in the theater. I haven't seen the trailer
yeah.
in the theater. So that was a fun. It's so silly, but it was a fun experience because as an actor, I don't know, maybe I'll never have that again. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to soak in everything as I can because I don't know if and when it'll ever happen again.
Yeah.
So
Because I go to the movies like 3 or 4 times a week. I go see like everything. I do think everything's better in the theater, not just horror, but especially horror. And
yeah,
so sometimes I see the same trailer so many times, like I'm not really paying attention. And then
right.
something new comes on. I was like, oh, this is something new. And then I was like, oh, that's Rebekah in there. So it was exciting.
That's cool. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't even realize that was me, which is fun.
Yeah, I think I knew because I think I'd seen you share about the movie.
Yeah. They're like, I got a few messages that were like, I think I saw you in a trail. Is that you? I'm like, yes, it's me.
Jamie Hill from Skinamarink says hello here.
Hello, Jamie.
Which was another very weird movie that made theaters. Which, as a weird horror movie fan, I'm always happy when anything. It does seem like some more strange stuff that normally probably wouldn't play mainstream theaters are starting to play theaters.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, Saban did another film called Strange Harvest that came out last month, and it came out in August, and it did pretty well. And so it's great to have movies that didn't have big budgets or are getting a chance to be seen in this way. And of course, it was of course a limited release for us. So people that didn't get to see it, it'll be coming on, VOD next month. But I feel like it drums up buzz. It gets people hopefully excited to see it. It's, good start for the spooky season. And yeah, it's nice to see like these littler movies get a chance.
Yeah, and it does seem that they are the movies that people go see besides like the big giant, blockbuster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
people, unfortunately, don't go see like a small budget in indie like drama very much, but they do go see a smaller horror movie.
Right. You're more willing to be forgiving for horror, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know anybody in it, it's like, okay, I don't know anybody in this, but like hopefully there's some good gore or some good scares or some good whatever. Versus if it's a drama and you don't know anyone in it, it's tough because you're like,
Yeah,
I don't want to sit and watch two people have a conversation at a table, or whatever. Like,
right.
so I get it. It's it's the same thing with comedy. I mean, horror is what sells right now, unless you have big names, because there's the audience. The audience for horror is like no other audience for any other film, any other genre of film.
Yeah. You mentioned your family in Texas, and some of the stuff was like maybe too gory or extreme for your mom. What did they think when you started to act in horror movies?
I mean, horror. My dad is a big horror fan. My grandmother,
Okay.
his mom, always loved horror, and I'm sad that she's no longer with us because she would have
I'm
really
sorry.
liked this
Yeah.
movie. But so my mom is horror is not her first probably love, but she'll watch it for me, and she'll go in general and watch them if we really want to see something or my dad really wants to see something. So it's been fun for her to like because she said like this is probably not a movie she'd go pick if I wasn't in it, just because it's not her first love. But I think she's having a fun time getting to see different movies and me in them, and kind of knowing somebody and how it works and how behind the scenes and how things come together. And I don't really tell them a lot either before. So they kind of knew the premise, but that was about it. They didn't really know much about the film or what happens. So it was a surprise, and my mom was pretty sad about what happened to me. So
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Good to hear that she wouldn't actually want that to happen to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's like, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but she's like, can you, just one movie, can you live?
Right. Sean O'Brien is great in the movie, and
Thank you. Yeah.
he maybe like I mean, there's a few evil people in the movie, but maybe he's the most inherently evil at some point, I guess. So yeah. What was he like to work with? He is really good in his role.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying thank you because I'm saying thank you on his behalf.
Right.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I worked with him on a movie called The Veil. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah, and so that was the first time I'd ever worked with him, and he's lovely. He's very generous and kind and supportive. And on that movie, it was just the two of us in The Veil, so we really got to know each other and trust each other. And when this movie came around, and they were like, "We need to cast your dad. Do you think Sean O'Brien would be interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think let me talk to him because he'd be great." And he dove right in. I mean, he hadn't done a lot of horror. The Veil was kind of his first venture into horror, and
Yeah, I
now he's,
think I had you both on for The Veil when The Veil came out.
yeah, he's doing a lot more. Yes, yes, that's right. He's doing a lot more horror now, and so I was like, just wait. I was like, you do one, and then more people will find you and want to do it, want you to be in their movies. Yeah, on this particular movie, it was helpful because of our relationship in the film, right, and what was happening in the film. It was nice to have somebody that I knew and trusted. And Pierre's mentioned this in other interviews, that it ended up being kind of, we were able to go a little further than originally he had planned, because we trusted each other, and like, just I knew that I could put my faith in him, that he was going to take care of me, if that makes sense. And they set up a very safe, supportive environment that I'm able to kind of go to those places and not feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, for
So
people like, they don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot of taboo subjects in the movie.
yeah, yeah. And it's something that happens. It's something that happens to people maybe that are watching. So I always have that in mind, and I want to do that with care, and for people to feel like it's justice. We're doing justice to it, and not
Yeah, it's not like exploiting anything.
Yeah, or it's like, because I know that these are real things that real people have gone through and are maybe possibly going through, and so that's always something that's on my mind as well.
When you first saw the finished movie, because one thing, to be in the movie and like how it's being filmed, but to see it once it's finished and edited, sometimes it could be better or worse than you expected it to be. So what did you think when you saw the finished film?
Yeah, so I first got to see it at home. He sent me a link, which I am always hesitant to watch because it's hard for me to watch myself, and at home I have like a very resistance to like wanting to watch anything. But it was nice because then when I went to the premiere, I had seen it, so I knew what to expect, because sometimes you go to a premiere and you haven't seen the movie, and sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it's not. And you're like, well, and you kind of have to suck it up. So
Right. You can't say, well, that wasn't very good. Right.
No, you can't. And once it's out and you're having a premiere, it's probably too late. So this was great to be able to watch ahead and kind of know what to prepare for. And I thought I had no idea how they were going to kind of pull some of the scenes off, to be completely honest, because when you're filming on set, you're doing it in pieces. Sometimes stuff just feels awkward or off, or like, does this work? Does this come through? And he's always like reassuring me that yes, it's working. And then seeing it in the film actually work is really nice to see. And so I was really pleasantly surprised and pleased with how it turned out. And we turned down all the lights, and of course it's hard for me to be scared because I know, because I filmed it. So I know, and a lot of the jump scares are me, so I know what's coming. But I will say, the first time I saw it, the cop getting pulled got me, because I wasn't there for that, so I didn't see that scene get filmed, or that particular moment get filmed. So I think I don't know what I was doing off, sitting somewhere, who knows. So that one got me.
Were you there for any of the Susan Gale Watts stuff?
No, I was
Because
not.
it's interesting when you said like it's like because some of it was filmed like a different place or whatever, and you're wondering like if it's going to mash or whatever. And actually, I thought that they did that well because it does seem like not a different movie, but you know what I mean. It's like really different, but
Yeah.
I think it works in the movie because it is like it's a different time. It is a totally different like area. So I actually thought that worked. I think he used maybe something that could be a negative to as a plus in the movie.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I didn't see any of that. So that was so seeing the movie for the first time was like how that was going to work. It's so funny because certain times people will be like, "Oh, how is it working with so and so?" And you're like, "I didn't," because
Yeah.
you meet them for the first. I think I met her for the first time at the premiere. Like I had never met her before, and the same thing with Emily Goss, who plays adult Alice. Like I never met her, and so it's an interesting, it's so different than theater where you're obviously rehearsing, so you know everyone, you're meeting everyone, you're working with everyone even if you're not in the same scenes with them. And this is such an interesting animal because there's times where I'm like I'm meeting someone for the first time and they're in the same film as me, or sometimes I never meet people that I'm in the same film with because they don't go to the premiere, or I can't go, or it's like I've never met them.
Yeah. Yeah, and both those great actors. Susan has like she really has a lot of presence on camera.
Yeah, she's really fun. I think she brought a really great sleazy, the perfect, like what you imagine somebody that's only after fame and her 15 minutes and getting the story like to be. It doesn't matter what's actually happening. Like that's the goal, and she brought that. And I love like the little, and I don't know if this was on purpose, but like the first like couple moments, excuse me, she even has like lipstick on her teeth, and they like left that in, which is like it's like says everything about her that you need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that character is just enough of not comic relief, but it's like a little bit lighter than some of the real dark. Even though if you think about it, it's not really a very light character, but I think it's a little different. It's not quite as dark as some of the other stuff in the movie, without like making it a parody or anything. I thought it really worked in the movie.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think I think you always need some levity too.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, you need a break. The audience needs a break from the intense, and then it's like then it goes back. You need those moments of like release to to really like be able to enjoy it, I think.
Yeah. You mentioned, it's you knew it would be a physically demanding movie, and I actually even had that in my notes. I was like, because it seemed like it'd be very physical. Uh, any injuries or like just was it even more physical than you expected it to be?
No injuries, and everything in the movie is me. So I, reading the script, you're like, okay, and then you have to do it, and you're like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work. And Pierre would send me like videos and TikToks about, different like dances or the running and on all fours, and you'd be like, what can we? And I tried to, practice as much as I could here, and then it was kind of like on the day, it's kind of like we're gonna try, and either it works or it doesn't work. And we did like 2 takes of it, and it works. But it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I think you just have to go for it, when action is called, and see what happens. And then, if we weren't able to do it, we would have adjusted and picked something else. But so yeah, it was an interesting challenge to find her physically and what was scary and what wasn't. And Pierre is great on the day about, we'll do something and then we watch it back and we see, does it work? Is it scary? How can we make it better? How can we make it scarier? He's really great with angles and making me look, great in the worst way. And so it was really fun. It was hard, but really fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's a great director. Even like when you first see your character, well, I guess when you first, well, anyway, when you have like you're kind of covering your face and stuff, like it really gives off the idea you're very meek and like
Yeah.
you feel very sorry for you at that point, and then later on how he shoots you, it's a completely different vibe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's I think sometimes like she's very vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and very kind of lost already before everything that kind of happens. And so it kind of just amplifies it all. And she really feels alone and lost, and like no one is, I mean, who would believe her? And so because of that, she, does the only thing she knows how to do. And then in the end, the only thing she can do is kind of set herself free, which is really, really sad. And what a, what trauma can do to a person, that
Mm-hmm.
when they aren't able to get help and aren't able to work through it, it's kind of like that's the only thing that kind of can set them free, which is really sad.
We mentioned, physically demanding, but which is more difficult as an actor, like the physical stuff, or the more psychological part of the acting?
Which is more difficult? I mean, they both have their challenges in different ways. I mean, the physical stuff, you still have to act. So that's part of, like, you still have to remember that, like you can't just focus on that and like forget about what your character's going through. But then of course, like the emotional stuff is really difficult as well. Um, the pregnancy scene was like in particular kind of a combination of both, of physical and like emotional, and how I was going to do that, where it was hopefully somewhat believable, and adding kind of combining both of those elements was a tough day, because it's just something that you kind of just have to like throw yourself into and imagine the best way you can, because there's nothing I could really draw from as far as like comparable situations. So yeah, it's hard to say if one is harder than the other. They both have their challenges,
Yeah.
depending on the day. Sometimes things are easier. Like sometimes they come easier than other days. It's As an actor, it's like you never can just count on something working or not working. Like you hope, you do all your homework and you show up and you hope that it works and that it happens, because we're not since we're not I mean, some people can turn it on and off, but since we're humans, right? And so sometimes things, you have to work a little harder to get something to work than other days. So yeah.
Did you I know you said you were at the premiere and you seen it at the theater. Did you go to any of the festivals that it played at?
Yeah, I got to go to Fright Fest in London
Oh,
when
nice.
it premiered last August, and it was amazing. It's a 800 seat theater. It was almost sold out pretty much, and that was an incredible experience. We sat up in the balcony, so we really got to like hear and see people's reactions, and it was very nerve wracking, because that was the first time that we put it out into the world. So you kind of never know what people are going to think, but it was a lot of fun, and they're such a supportive festival there. They
Mhm.
just were so supportive of the movie and of us, and it was really so welcoming, and so that was really great.
Yeah, my first feature premiered at Fright Fest, and so that was yeah, I didn't know what to think until people start to react when the movie starts. I was like, I hope I hope people don't walk out,
I
or no
know.
one laughs, or I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, you're like, well, if at least one person does, then you got them. You got them.
There-
That's
yeah,
cool.
and
That's
there's
awesome.
and that festival though, like you said, is very supportive, and the people who go to it, like some of them even have like Fright Fest tattoos, like they're really dedicated horror fans.
Yeah, people had Two Witches stuff for us to sign. They already had Traumatica posters printed out for us to sign. It was incredible. I've never been to a festival where there was a line of people waiting for autographs, and not just like autographs on a headshot or a thing. They already had the Traumatica like um, posters printed that we had released at that time. They already had stuff printed for us, and it was incredible. The fans are just like amazing there, and it was so like just warms your heart, because you're like, wow, there's
Yeah,
people that really care.
yeah. So you're in a lot of stuff, so you like you work a lot, but so what are the importance for a film festival for
Like,
you,
why?
like personally, for not only for your movie to play there, but what do you think? Do you think it's important for an actor to go to the festival that it's playing at?
I think if you can, it's the way you meet people, the way you network. I went to Fright Fest, Film Quest in Utah I don't know if you're familiar with that festival or
I
not.
know it is. I've never been to it though.
Yeah, it's in Provo, Utah. I went like back when in 2021 when Two Witches played first, and I'd never been to that festival, but I've heard it's very filmmaking friendly, and it is. I mean, you get some outside audience, but most of the time you're playing for the other filmmakers because it's only in
Yeah. For
one
people who go to festivals a lot or who haven't, that is there are different types of festivals, like you're saying. Like
yes.
ones are more like to actually not necessarily not to see the movie, but it's to interact with some other filmmakers.
Right. And that one like is, I mean, you get sold out standing room only, and it's because it's only in one location, you're not fighting for other time slots. You're not like, oh, my movie's up against this other movie, so no one's gonna
Yeah.
come see my movie. So I went to that one and I met a director that then we worked on Sweet Molly together. That's a short film that came out that then it played again at Film Quest last year. So we went back. And so film festivals are just a great way to network and meet other people, for people to see your work. Even if they don't get a chance to see the film, you're meeting them, you're talking to them. Maybe you can send them a link to your film. Maybe they'll go check it out when it comes out on, like it comes out. And it's the way that work begets work, right? So that's the way that you keep working, is by meeting people and people knowing about you. And that's a great way to like naturally meet other people that are doing the same thing you're doing.
And there is something cool about I say this on the show a lot, but a festival that's on one screen because everyone's watching everything together, and it
Yeah.
does have like a community feel.
Yeah. I mean, for our film, we, people were standing in the back because there was no place to sit. And for Sweet Molly, everyone cheered when I, not to spoil it, but when I stabbed the guy, and it's like, there's just a really great feeling, being in that setting. And it was a, I can't go to every festival. It's expensive,
Sure.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
So, I mean, if like when we went to London, for instance, I'd never been. Neither one,
Mhm.
Brandon, my husband, and I had never been. And so we made a trip out of it. So we were there for like 6 days, and we did the festival, and then we did a bunch of touristy stuff. And I like to go with the mindset of like, okay, I'm going for, at least especially for that one, because it was so far, that
Mhm.
like, if nothing comes out of the festival, like if I never meet anybody I ever work with, we went to London, we got to experience London. I would never regret that, right? It was a great trip. We had a fabulous time. We got to see everything we wanted to see. And so that was a great trip. I think it's a lot of pressure sometimes, I think, for people, because it's a lot of money, and then you're traveling, and then you're like, what am I getting out of it? Like when my film got into Sundance, I went, and I've never regretted it. Even, I haven't necessarily worked with anybody that I met there yet,
Mhm.
but I may never have a film there again. I don't know. So it was a great experience, and I don't regret going, because being able to do that and have that once in a lifetime experience, possibly, of having an actual film in the film festival, is something that was very cool. So I try to look at it like that too, as like, what are the perks of going? What can you
Mhm.
get out of it? If nothing else, you're seeing a place, you're traveling, you're getting to
No, same.
experience.
I had never been to London either, so the first time I went to Fright
Yeah,
Fest, it was like, yeah, this is who knows? I'll may never go again. So I went 6 days as well with my friend Jason, and yeah, we went around and
yeah,
did a lot of fun stuff. And people say
yeah,
the food's bad in London, but I disagree. I actually enjoyed all the food I had.
yeah. We didn't have anything. I mean, it wasn't like like, I think we went to this Indian restaurant. It was the best meal we had, but it wasn't. We didn't have anything that was bad. Like, I don't
Yeah, yeah.
think that we're like, oh,
Well, I
this is.
think it's very diverse, so you can get all kinds of different food. Is the
Yeah,
idea?
and there's I've gotten 2 films into, sieges in Spain, and I've never gotten to
Hmm.
go, and so I've said, like, that we said the next film that gets in, we're gonna go to that festival. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I've
then
never been either. I've always heard that's some of my guests on the show have said that's their favorite festival.
yeah, everyone's like, "You have to go," but it was so close to after Fright Fest that was like, there was no way to make it
Yeah,
financially
yeah.
make sense. But, I'm like, the next film I have, I'm gonna go, for sure, because then you can start to, like, make these goals of like, oh, I'm going to go to that one, or one day. And it's it's really fun. I've never regretted going to like a festival, even if it's out of town, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. It was I'm a big proponent of festivals for anybody on any level. Even if you just want to not just watch movies. That's great to go watch movies, but from whatever. If you're a press, if you a fan, if you're involved in any way, I would recommend going to festivals. I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of pluses for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a and it's fun to see like what else is out there. What
Oh
are people,
yeah,
you know?
just
I got to see, I
go
got to
on,
see
sorry.
like Saltburn before a lot of people.
Yeah,
So at the Austin Film Festival, so that it's and she was there doing a Q&A, and it's like those kind of experiences are so cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's really fun to see like a movie. Sometimes it'll be like a year before anyone, before it pops up on, Shudder or at the theater or whatever. And there's been instances which is kind of bittersweet, but it'll be something like I really like, but I I may never see it again. Like I never hear of it again. And so it's cool that I get to see it. It's kind of sad that it never goes anywhere. But
Yeah. Yeah. I know
and
some people have a hard time understanding like why. I've seen some comments like why they're like this movie says 2024, or, like,
right, right.
yeah, of course, indie films are playing the festival circuit first usually, unless they're just bought up. And even when they're bought up, they usually go to some festivals because that's where it builds buzz, right, and gets audience reviews and starts building the momentum because so many movies come out every day, every week. Forget the theater, look at like streaming and what is being
Yeah, yeah.
dropped every single day. And it's hard as a film and a filmmaker, and just as as an actress to get your film seen. So that's a great way to like start the buzz of it.
And for short films, it's probably your only chance to ever see it on a big screen with an audience.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, unless you do your own screening, it's pretty much the only way to really be able to see it. I directed my first short film, and we got into the LA Shorts International, and so we got to so it played at the Regal LA Live, and so my parents came, and we got to see it on the big screen, and it's like that's probably it. I'll never probably see it on the big screen again.
Okay.
So it was really special to be able to have it here in LA and be able to see your work, and share it with the people that were in it, and that the crew and the cast and everybody that worked on it, in that space.
What is the short film? The one that
Uh,
you
it's
directed?
It's called Love Language. It's a not a horror, it's a comedy. It's a quirky comedy about about two office workers that like each other but have a hard time telling each other. And whenever they try to talk about it, they talk in this like weird language, and then they realize that they can understand each other in the weird language.
What?
So
Is that available anywhere? I still I know it's a horror show, but I do watch other things.
I can send you a link to it. It's
All
not
right, cool.
it's not public yet because we're still playing at a few festivals, but I can send you a link if you remind me.
All right, yeah. And is directing something you would like to continue to do?
Yeah, I had a great time. It's definitely something I would like to do in the future, more so once I kind of find the right fit. Something that even though this was a comedy and I haven't done a lot of comedy, it still was in my space. I still felt like I had something to say in it. I could put my stamp on it. Sean Whan and co-wrote it with another friend of ours, and it was still very much in my wheelhouse of like, oh yeah, this is Rebekah, if that makes sense. So I would definitely like to continue when I find something that kind of fits in that, and it's not just something to direct, but I could actually like have something to say with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I do think horror and comedy are similar in a lot of ways because you interact with both of them,
Yeah.
and it's not something you either laugh or you don't. So you can't like pretend you could pretend to laugh, I guess, but like if you get scared, you're actually scared. If you laugh, you're actually laughing.
That was terrifying. Was like the whole time I was like, what if no one laughs? What if no one laughs? And it's just us that's laughing. I was like, that I can't. That's like because when you do a drama,
Uh-huh.
you don't
Yeah, you
know.
have no idea. You don't know unless you go
You don't
around
have
and you
a
see if they're
feeling,
crying or something.
right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna like. It doesn't matter. Like you know, even horror doesn't necessarily have to have a visceral reaction. Like
Hmm.
people can still be enjoying it and not be like screaming or
Yeah.
you know. Um, But comedy, if no one's laughing, it does not work. And it is clear if no one is. So I was very nervous about that, but thankfully people laughed. So I felt good.
Good. And I saw Swipe is your first feature that you're actor and producer on.
Yes, that's correct. We just picture locked recently, and now we're working on sound design and music and all the next steps for the film.
So both Troy and Bubba here are looking forward to the movie.
Thank
And
you.
Swipe, what genre is Swipe?
It's a horror as well.
All right.
Well, I mean, probably what I'll be doing especially in the producing space for a while, because like we said, that's what sells. It's really, like you said, really hard to sell a drama or a comedy unless you have big names in them. It just, I mean, maybe somebody distributor will pick it up, but it's just really hard to get people to see it. And, as much as as an, you want your work to be seen as well. This is why we do it. So, of course, you want to tell a great story, but you also want people to see it. So
yeah. Producer, because I think that's a term some people don't understand what that means, and I guess it also depends on each film too, because you could be you have different hats as a producer. So, what does producer mean on Swipe?
So for me, it was I helped with casting. I was very involved in bringing people in, having them audition, helping with put lists together for people that we just offered roles to. And then as far as in the production side, giving opinions, helping hire our DP. And then during it was, making some of the hat went off to other producers, but it was still on days I wasn't acting, I was a producer on set, making sure actors were warm, they didn't need anything, running around, making sure snacks were out, breakfast, lunch was good, making sure nobody needed anything. And then in post, I have been, watching cuts, giving notes, helping hire our, sound or colorist, things like that. So, whatever space I'm needed in. And then we're developing our next film now as well. So that's that I'm going to be acting and producing. So that's right now it's been coverage on the script, notes, getting the script to be in a good spot to start being able to send it out. So yeah,
congratulations on that.
And helping find the money as well was another part in the first in Swipe.
Yeah, which is something no one likes to do, but you have to do it.
No, that's the hardest part for sure.
Yeah. And so Crust is also out there for people to check out, and I believe that was your first film with Sean Whan.
Yes, it was. People can rent it on Tubi or Amazon, and internationally, we will be going to be announcing more on that soon as well. So yeah, that was a really fun, really great experience. It was like summer camp because it was all overnights. So it was 10 overnights for me, and so it was going to camp for a few weeks. And just a great experience. Working with Sean was wonderful. He's now obviously directed Swipe, and he's directing this new one, and he's my business partner as well. And he's really helped me take on things I didn't think I could do. I mean, he was instrumental in me directing. He, co-wrote the film and helped me put it together. And then Sheena Whalen, his wife, helped me produce the short. And now I'm producing, as well in the feature space. And he's kind of opened that door for me to be able to do more than I thought I was capable of doing, or wanted to, but didn't know how to get started.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Sean's I don't know, a little bit. He's always been really nice to me, and I think that's great that he saw something and even helped you go to do stuff that you didn't think you could do. So did you guys just like hit it off right away when you're doing Cross? Like, oh, this is a good team. Like, this works.
Yeah, we did. I mean, he was he said to me, he's like, "What have you directed?" Because he saw me hey, you should probably get this, or you're gonna want this for this cut, and not to overstep my bounds, because I was an actor on the movie, but independents take a lot of eyes because you're moving quickly, you don't have a lot of people, you don't have a lot of money, and so it takes all people to put it together.
Yeah.
And I think he saw that and was like, well, what have you directed? And I was like, well, nothing. And I've done theater, but never anything in this space. And he's like, well, that's going to change. And he's like, if I write you a short film, will you direct it? And I was like, okay, thinking he would never write it. And then a week later, he's like, I have a first draft. And so then I was like, I guess I have to do it now. And so that worked out. And so, I think we complement each other on, he is really great at, making things move forward. And, if we got to do something, he's like, let's do it right now. There's no grass growing under his feet, as my mom says. And I think I bring to the table, like, more detail oriented and making sure that, everything looks good. And it's, he's kind of the overall picture and I'm the details, which I think makes a good team.
People check out Crust and stuff in the future is very exciting. And where can people follow you to see what you're up to?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Bekah, Bekahk. I'm also on X. I'm on Facebook. I think those are the 3 places, right, that you can follow people.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other. I don't know.
Oh,
I know those are the 3 that I try to keep up with the most.
I'm on TikTok as well.
Okay, I'm on TikTok too, but
I'm not great on it, but I am more on it now than I, used to be. So,
right. You like the milk crate challenge, or I don't know, but
I'm not clever enough. As many people are so clever on that app, but I try.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Be out there, I guess. Well, people should check out Traumatica. I really love the movie. Again, not just because you're on the show. I really thought it was great. And if I see something I like to, try to get other people to go see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support a lot. It means a lot, especially for, smaller films. We don't have the same studio, like millions and millions of dollars. So, it's nice to have people that are supporting the film and enjoy it and, helping get it out there. So thank you.
I suggest it to my mom, who's a big horror fan. So,
awesome. Let me know if she watches it.
Yeah, she definitely will. Right. It's not playing here on the Cape, so she couldn't see it here, but it's playing other places.
Yeah. And we've got extended in a few cities through this weekend, through next week.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I actually saw it still playing in Boston.
Yeah. And a few city added. So people can keep an eye out. I'm hoping that maybe some, who knows, maybe some more things will be added as well. So.
All right. Sounds good. It was good to talk to you again. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Yes, I'd love to come back when when Swipe is out or I have something else coming out to chat for sure.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm going to play us out with the trailer for Traumatica. Hopefully no one yells at me. If they do, this will be cut off of future episodes, but you'll see it live. All right. Good night. What?
Child is believed to have been abducted from his home over 9 months ago. This is the 4th child abduction in the past 12 months in the Los Angeles County area.
There's a demon. Preys on children.
Don't make a sound. If I can hear you or see you, then the monster will come and get you.
You look nervous.
What have I done? I'm so sorry I brought it here. Brought what? child's in the house. The child.
Hey, all right. That's great to have Rebekah Kennedy back on the show. We may have actually the director Pierre coming up sometime soon. He was actually going to jump on tonight, but he was not available. And so check out Traumatica. Really, I love the movie. This has been a great year for horror films. There's a lot of stuff. Sometimes I actually keep a list of horror movies I really liked every year. So when we do our top 13 list, I can have like a recollection of what I like. And I think this year is gonna be really hard to narrow it down because there's a group of movies that I like. I remember when I saw Sinners, I was like, well, this is easy. That's gonna be my number one movie of the year. But I've seen a lot of stuff that I've liked since then. That's gonna be jump. The top 5 is gonna be hard, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of good stuff. So go to the movies, go see some horror stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff playing, all different levels. You get great indie stuff. You get a lot of mainstream movies are really good too in the horror world. And if the theaters are going to continue to play stuff like Traumatica, you have to support it. So go out there, get a ticket, and go see it in the theater on the big screen. And tomorrow night here on Without Your Head, at normal time, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be live for our first ever clown party. This is not going to be a normal Without Your Head. We've got a bunch of people on: me, Terrible Troy, Cousin AJ, Tara Hutchinson, Morgan Milan, Mischief the Clown, and Victoria Page, plus all of you out there. So all you have to do is dress up as a clown in some form. You could be a mask, it could be some face paint, whatever, a red nose. You could keep it simple, but put some effort into it to be a clown on the show. Maybe just bring a horn or something if you don't have makeup, but have something fun. You couldn't come on. We're going to keep people in and out of the show. Come on, we're going to spin the wheel. And you're going to play a clown game, and you could win some prizes. It's going to be a fun show. So do it. That'll be tomorrow night, Thursday. Be here and be prepared to video into the show. It's going to make it fun. There'll be trivia, all different games you can play. It'll be a good time. So hopefully you guys come and check that out. All right. So do that Thursday night. Hit the like button, subscribe. Become a member. It starts only $3 a month. You can become a $10 member producer and get IMDb credit. It helps support Without Your Head. All right. Until tomorrow, this is Nasty Neil at Without Your Head.